The light of the Bible gives the elect light in the midst of this darkness. Ecclesiastes 8:1. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises to the Most High, Yahawah, and His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, because the letter J in English alphabet did not exist 2,000 years ago. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone, taught me this truth through the Spirit. Single honors to the elect. Peace and bless to the 1/3, and to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Like, look at the world right now and the condition that it's in. There's just a lot going on the front. And this goes back to biblical prophecy. Prophecy, pro means before, for say means to speak. So events that were going to occur in the future were spoken in the past, and they are now happening to the day. And that's why the Bible stands alone compared to any other book. It stands alone. And let me read that really quick before I proceed. Isaiah 34:16-17. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, which is what? The Bible. And read, no one of these shall fail. What shall not fail? These prophecies. Okay? None shall want her mate. You can't compare the Bible to no other book. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. The Lord has gathered the elect by his spirit. The men you see on the highways and byways, let me tell you something. 9 times out of 10, the men did not know each other in their life. Like, you have rare situations like Elder Malcolm, his son is in the camp. That's rare, but it's not far-fetched. Why? Because we're a small number amongst billions. The Lord going to have mercy upon thousands. So not only millions are going to perish, billions. But I digress. I want to put the carriage before the horse. But the spirit of the Lord is what gathered us. That's how spiritual this is. Like, this, spirit is like the wind. Where the Lord was talking to Nicodemus about being born again, he said, the wind listeth, and you can feel it on your skin, but you can't see it. That's what faith is like. It's something that you can feel. It's an essence. It's like having an epiphany when that light bulb turns on. It's like you can feel it at that moment. Like, man, I'm changing, but it's for the better. Continuing on, Isaiah 34:17, and he hath cast a lot for them, and his hand have divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever. From generation to generation shall they dwell therein, meaning the nation of Israel shall dwell back into their land. Like what's happening over there right now. It ain't looking too good. I got some information I want to bring out on too at camp tomorrow. Israel's not looking good, and they're able to commit the genocide in Lebanon, but they're still fighting over there in the land right now. Like, even the modern day Christian, do you read your book? The Lord said that there will be no more war, no more tears. Where are the 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel? Where's Abraham? Where's Isaac? Where's Jacob? Where are the angels? Where's the gold? Where's the gold robes? Right? Come on, man. Where's all the dead that died for Yahawashi? How come they're not here? You understand what I'm saying? So, even looking at the situation right now, that war that's going on, that goes back to Joel 3rd chapter. All right, all this darkness, all this evil, all this negativity is popping up in the world. The Lord told you it was going to happen before it happened. Like, prime example, this is Luke chapter 21, verse 25-26. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. People, we just had the Passover, right? We had the Feast of Unleavened Bread. What fell on the Passover, y'all? The pink moon, wasn't it? Man can't imitate what the Lord can do like that. No, the Lord did that. The Lord showed you signs in the heavens. And y'all, that was done directly on the Passover, y'all. Remember who created the almanac? It was a Jade. Was it Booker T. Washington? I forgot. I got to get my book. Jake created the almanac that Esau used to this day to determine the summer solstice, the winter solstice. You know how they have the spring equinox and all of that stuff like that. Yeah, we did that. We had the knowledge, wisdom of the signs in the heavens. Let's get back to it though. Continuing on Luke 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations. You talk about the entire world. This is happening right now. Distress of nations with perplexity. Perplexity. Let's see what the word perplexity means. It's kind of heavy.
Strong's G 640. Aparia.
Now, right here, you see the word perplexity, and it says a state of quandary, but when you go to the root word, it says to be without resources, to be in strait, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. That's the states right now. That's these nations right now. Think about what's happening with this war right now. These countries, knowing that the cost of oil is going up, that means the cost of everything is going to go up. But you got little countries like Thailand coming through. Woo-hoo, hey, can I get through here? And through the Strait of Hormuz, and they're saying, yeah, why? Because they're not a threat. And over in Iran, they're charging $1 per barrel to pass through. You think that's nothing, but if you got millions of barrels, that's some money. And guess what? They're taking crypto. They bypassing the petrodollar. America's through. Darker days are coming ahead. And guess what, y'all? China's still getting their oil, if not more oil right now. So the entire world right now is up in shambles. But that goes back to what? Those deep, dark parables. Those signs in the sky. The things that we can see that they were not able to see. Luke 21 and 26. Men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. That's the times we're living in right now. People looking for answers. We have the answers. The Lord destroyed that covering cast. Isaiah 25 and 7. He will destroy in this mountain, meaning this nation, the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Because, let's be honest, 1492 when they had the Bible, right? When these deep, dark parables started coming about, let's say sometime after what? The Emancipation Proclamation, so to say. Abba Bivens, who we believe to be Elijah in the spirit. These deep, dark parables and breakdown did not start happening until Jake started reading the Bible and getting into it. So understand these deep, dark parables is only for the elect, and that's why we go on the highways and byways. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 9 through 12. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. And that goes back to the spirit of truth, which the world cannot receive. So understand that the Lord said it's the mystery. So in other words, a parable is a mystery. It's a riddle, a dark saying. We're able to understand that. Like when the scripture says, no man could buy or sell unless they had the mark. We see that now. We know what that is. It's sweetened. Or you got to walk around with a physical wallet. All you got to do is wave your hand. You understand what I'm saying? That's a deep, dark parable being deciphered. One arrow being shot from one end of the earth to another until it consumed the foundation of the earth. What is that talking about? You can't shoot an arrow from one end of the earth to another. It's talking about thermonuclear warheads. That's what the prophet saw back then. He didn't know. There was no word for missile. Understand? That's what the elder apostle Gabar said. You have to spiritually extrapolate. What did he mean by an arrow shot from one end of the earth and it shall consume the foundations? That's a deep, dark parable. Understand? So at the end of the day, the Lord gives the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the elect, not to everyone. Let's get there really quick. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So people can't see what we're talking about. It's because the Lord blinded them. Now that's a scary thing. You mean to tell me the God of heaven and earth, right, who has created billions of people, has also said he only gonna show mercy unto thousands, and then on top of that he blinded you? But then again, it's because you didn't believe to begin with. That's why he blinded you. He didn't want you to know this. Live your life in subtle ignorance. Nonetheless, we want the wisdom to understand what's going on, to give you the answers. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 5, for we preach not ourselves, but Mashiach, Yahawashi the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahawashi's sake. For God who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts, our minds, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Yahawashi Mashiach. So what is the light, people? The knowledge of these deep, dark parables, the interpretation. All right? So not only in the aspects of prophecy, the aspects of everyday life on how to handle situations, the aspects on how to heal yourself, the aspects of morality. It's all here. Nonetheless, though, this is our culture, our heritage, which everybody else want to try and cleave on to, right? Even when you're reading the Quran, you have to always go back to Abraham. Well, Abraham goes back to what? The Bible. Judaism. Even though they read the Talmud, you claim to be the people that's from the Bible. All three monotheistic religions go back to the Bible. Catholicism, it really goes back to the Bible too. Even though Catholicism means universal and it really consists of all religions, but they look at Pope as this grandiose spiritual leader, But nonetheless, we're supposed to let our light shine. And I'm going to close out with this. Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 through 16. Ye are the light of the world. We have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this Bible. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. First and foremost, let me say, started with elders of great millstone on down. All right. The light, the light tower, the lighthouse, so to say. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and giveth light unto all that are in the house. What house? The house of Israel. We was in gross darkness, right? Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So at the end of the day, the men on the highways and byways, those men have the light in all this darkness. Those men are trying to guide you to it. But remember what the Lord said. They love darkness more than light. That's cold. So we're supposed to continue to shine our light to those that want to get the true answer and understanding. To those who seek Yahawashi will come to it. Because remember the Lord saying, your teacher shall no longer be pushed into a corner, but you shall see that teacher, and they shall say, come hither this way. You hear that voice? You see that light? You better walk to it. Like Yahawashi said, my sheep hear my voice. All right? And we speak on behalf of Yahawashi, right? Remember Yahawashi said in Matthew 10 and 20, it is not you that speak, but it's the Spirit of the Father that speaketh within you. Are we not spiritual ambassadors for the nation of Israel? But anyways, with that being said, I truly pray y'all was edifying, fed, stay in the spirit, no fear, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwama Allah, Shalom.